Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review. This is your host, Steve. Up next is a Build Your Own DeLorean from Back to the Future. This is issue number 11 from Eaglemoss. Welcome back. This is issue 11 of the Eaglemoss Build the Back to the Future DeLorean. Let's look at the magazine. And as usual, we open it up. We have a table of contents here on the left, broken down into 4 chapters: drive time, production diary, inside the time machine, and the time traveler's guide. Then they show us what parts are actually included with issue 11. And don't forget, if you haven't done so already and you're in the USA, go ahead and subscribe to this. Fantastic. You will be very pleased having your own replica of the 1/8 scale DeLorean. Right away, we get into assembling the engine support, fixing some of the sides here, step by step, mounting the support, and everything how it will look onto the frame. I like it because it's very clear and concise, tells you what you need to do and what screws you have to install, so that makes it fantastic. Pages are all glossy, very high quality print, very nice magazine, so it's worth saving and have it in your library. So with the production diary, they get into the filmmakers where they move into some of the schools that they used in the filming. I won't give away where they're actually at. You'll have to read the article. A couple of pages on that. Great photography here. Inside the time machine, and some of the stuff that's on the interior of the car. And lastly, Biff Tannen. A little article on him, and then they give us a preview of what's in issue 12. So I look forward to that. Okay, with that, I'll go ahead and get the parts out. We'll get a look at them, get a closer look, and then we'll assemble this issue. I'll be right back. Here's the parts pack, and we'll take these out and we'll get a closer look at them. Here's how they look in the blister pack. Take them out and we will get a closer look. Here's the parts. We get engine support. We get engine support left and right. We get base panels. These are made out of plastic. The rest are made out of metal. We get some connecting rods and rods themselves. And we get some screws. We get the DM screws and we get the HM screws. We're going to install the engine support ends. This is metal here. Just going to turn it over. And what you want to do is you want to look for the side that has the holes in it, whereas the other side does not. And of course these pieces here will be mounting like that and like that, with the tabs on top right here sticking up and right there. And like always, I'm going to put a little lubrication chapstick on the holes since the screws are going into metal. And we'll do one side at a time. And the other side. Next we install the rod ends, and we're going to use the HM screws. What we do is we make sure that this curved part is facing down. It's going to simply insert into that like that, and then the screws get threaded in. Alright, so we'll go ahead and stand it up. Might make it easier. And make sure that our rod end is curved down. Insert it in here. And then all we have to do is screw the HM screw in here. And there we go. And there we go. Took a little bit of work, but we had to get it threaded all the way through and get it straightened out. So that looks pretty good there. I'll go ahead and do the other side and I'll be right back. And there you have it. And there it is. They're installed, all the hardware is tight on them, and they look really good. And that's how it's supposed to look. The rod ends curved up on both sides, and this would be the bottom of it. So let's move on to the next step. Next we're going to install the sides, and make sure that you have your bottom support oriented with the tie rods on this end with the screws right there. First one will simply just mount over the top. I've already pre-greased where the screws are going in, so it makes everything easier. And we are going to use 2 DM screws to install this. So we'll just place that over the top. And let me reposition it so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Putting some lubrication on these really helps. And we'll repeat it just like that on the other side. So let me position it so you can see it as I do. I'll position it on there. Get everything lined up. And we'll have one more to go. And there we go, all tightened up. Next step will be to add the covers. Next step is to install the covers. Once again, we're going to use 2 DM screws, and these are plastic. Simply just going to insert just on top, just like that, and then we'll put our screw in. I'm going to put this where you can see it on the side camera. I already pre-greased the hole because we're putting a screw in metal just to make it easier to install it. That's nice and snug. Same with the other side. Put the screw in that one. And nice and snug. There we go. Our next step will be to mount this to the frame. Okay, on the frame you want to make sure it's turned over where your shock mounts are on the bottom, just like that. And then we want to line this up. Looks like that just inserts. Let's see if I can show you a better view of this. So that just inserts into those holes. There's a alignment hole. We'll flip it over, and that's when we put the screws in on top. And then we put in 4 DM screws. Got one start on that side, and we will get one started on this side. There we go. And there you have it. All 4 screws are in. And that looks like that's all we do for issue 11. Stay tuned for issue 12. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Eaglemoss Build Your Own DeLorean from Back to the Future. With that, happy modeling, everybody. Take care.